Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Katannya Alven speaking from the New Forest in England, the UK. So, Great Britain, call it what you like. Now, I've got up here as a follow-on from the previous video I did. This does actually involve both people in the UK and also people in America. Ukraine Gate, or the coup against President Donald Trump, Phase 3, Part 1. Now this is from LAROUCHEPAC, and they always put out some extremely good information. So this is Part 1 of a 3-part series, and they have got all the parts here, so I'll put it into the description box. A parade of Washington unelected diplomatic elite has been appearing before the House Intelligence Committee in a tiny room in the House basement, a SCIF, sensitive compartmented information facility. Oh, I'm going to have to put my other glasses on. It's quite small. Here we are. Walled off from the world by a blanket of electronic security to enforce absolute total secrecy. There is a proceeding reminding most of the British Star Chamber they are making claims against a man they hate, a man whom the voters elected in 2016 to throw them all out of any power whatsoever over the nation. The President of the United States. Here is how America voted, and it's got, bring down here, they're claiming that President Trump withheld necessary military aid for Ukraine in exchange for a promise by the Ukrainians to investigate Joe Biden and his cocaine-addled son, Hunter. This is the so-called impeachment inquiry, which follows 2 previous impeachment campaigns in sequence, launched by the Democrats, or Demorats as many people seem to call them, and they probably write a good title for them, and the Anglo-American defense and intelligence establishment on the day Donald Trump won the election. Now, have a look, go and do some research, probably DuckDuckGo is the best search engine to use, and look at the origins of the Democrat Party. As far as I know, and I haven't done all that much research on it, but as far as I know, certainly Rothschild of the time was directly involved in the commencement of the Democratic Party. So there you have that English banking connection right there. And there will be a tremendous amount, very useful to do research on that. It's one of those things I wanted to do and not as yet fully. I just got a little way. So here we come. Let's put that down. I'll use this. I've got it here. In this brief, we will show you that Donald Trump should have withheld military aid from the Ukrainians, but for a reason different than that stated, and we will demonstrate that Joe Biden should be investigated for supervising a coup led by neo-Nazis in the Ukraine, which has collapsed that country. And I happen to have a friend whose son, she's a dancer, expressed to me, asked her how her son was. She said, well, very, very, very difficult times. And if you recall, I thought it might be in this writing, and it might well be, that Victoria Nuland, of the American Undersecretary at the time, a telephone conversation that she was having with the American ambassador in the Ukraine, and it went viral, and they were planning the coup. So this whole Uranian thing was basically, as I see it, to make it look as if Russia took over the Ukraine. The president of Ukraine was going to join the European Union, and Putin obviously had some influence in the respect of warning what would happen if the Ukrainians joined the EU. The EU is a criminal organization, European Union, the bankers. But he did a U-turn, and this Victoria Nuland's and this conversation with the ambassador of Ukraine went viral. But it seems that on the information that I've seen, that's been forgotten. but the LaRouchePAC gave a lot of attention to it. And so in their information, they have a lot of information about that situation. And so it certainly is, for those who want to go into it more deeply, do go and look and do searching into the file, the information that the LaRouchePAC has on this, because they've been following it for a long while. It's a very, very good organization. Let's go on. So it seems to me that the main aim, and I have no doubt, as was said in the title here, Ukraine Gate, or the coup against President Donald Trump, but in the previous title, here we are, and it's come up here, The Real Ukraine Scandal Story. The maiden coup was a British Obama Nazi regime change operation. Okay, now I think in this section, yes, I've gone back to the first part. In Washington, D.C., as the House hours rack up House Intelligence Committee impeachment hearings on President Donald Trump, which remains constant, is the real issue regarding events in Ukraine in recent years, is that British and traitorous networks in the Obama administration staged an operation to topple the elected Ukrainian government of Viktor Yanukovych. Now, do you remember also what was going on in Syria? The regime change, that they were desperately trying to do that. And that was Ukrainian government of Viktor Yanukovych in 2013, 2014, and worked with well-known Nazi elements to accomplish their goal. The very same British-US networks are conducting the attempted coup in the United States and using the fake impeachment to cover up their actual crimes in sponsoring the Nazi coup in 2014. Now, if anyone thinks that Donald Trump, or President Donald Trump, doesn't know about the maiden coup and who was behind it, I would be very surprised. I'm sure he does. He's an extremely intelligent and very well-read, politically well-read man. The story was exposed in real time with calls for international intervention in EIR articles. That's the LaRouche magazine. So the EIR articles fall in 2013 through the February 2014 maiden coup. And afterwards, for example, after Ukraine's EU refusal, Eurasian developments versus collapse and chaos, as I mentioned before, he did a U-turn at the last minute and did not join the EU. And of course, here I'm reading from a side one. He's saying, as well as the original coverage of Ukrainian rejection of the EU association agreement. So that was in 2013. Then at the third anniversary of Maidan, the EIR issued a special report released simultaneously in Washington, D.C., Berlin, Germany, in the United Nations, in New York City and elsewhere, titled Obama and Soros, Nazi in Ukraine, 2014 and 2017. Since then, many more specifics have come out, ranging from examples such as snipers were hired to turn the Maidan demonstrations deadly, to such sordid details as to how Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was positioned to receive multi-millions in payola, pay for play I suppose, and the shady Ukrainian company Borisma. It is all part of the same ugly package. Now, if you think about and how much has been pushed onto Russia, and even now I hear in sources that somewhat disturb me that Russia is being blamed for taking over Ukraine. They didn't. And certainly in the LaRouchePAC you'll discover that they didn't. I'm coming out of time here, but for those who are really interested in the Ukraine scandal, you'll get it in LaRouchePAC. Katannya, Alven saying, God bless. Bye-bye.